The company's net margin has quietly deteriorated from a robust 43.1% down to 38.0% in just 1 year, despite what the headlines say. We are looking at Meta Platforms, and it serves as the perfect case study for a dangerous phenomenon in stock market analysis, the profitability illusion. At first glance, the situation looks euphoric. Net income is up, and the market has rewarded this by pushing the price to earnings, or PE ratio, from a modest 21.8 to a lofty 31.2. If you're new to value investing, think of the PE ratio as the price tag you pay for the company's paycheck. Investors are now paying over $31 for every single dollar Meta earns, a massive premium compared to last year. But here is the divergence that should make you sweat. The market is paying significantly more for a dollar of earnings that costs the company more to generate than it did 12 months ago. The golden rule to remember here is simple. Price follows narrative, but value follows efficiency. When a stock price screams growth while its profit margins scream inefficiency, you are looking at an overheated engine. But why are margins shrinking in a boom? To answer that, we have to look at the spending. Operating expenses surged by 41.0%, far outpacing revenue growth of 23.8%. This is a mathematical mismatch. Meta is running faster and spending drastically more just to stay in the same place. This leads us to the most critical structural change in this report: asset bloat. The company's fixed assets, specifically property and equipment, exploded by 62.2% to nearly $197 billion. That is a staggering amount of concrete, servers, and infrastructure. Usually, asset growth is good if it generates sales. But here is the twist. The asset turnover ratio dropped to a concerning 0.55. Let's translate that into plain English. The asset turnover ratio is essentially an efficiency score. It tells you how many dollars of sales a company gets for every dollar of assets it owns. Right now, for every dollar Meta invests in these massive new projects, they are generating less than 55 cents in sales. This changes the DNA of the business. Meta is no longer the high-efficiency software compounder you thought it was. It is transforming into a capital-heavy industrial utility. They are buying scale rather than earning it through organic innovation. This is a crucial lesson in fundamental analysis. Never confuse growth with value creation. If a company has to double its assets just to grow revenue by 20%, that is not leverage, that is bloat. Now you might ask, how does a company fund $197 billion in hard assets? You borrow. And this brings us to the debt bomb. The most alarming shift is the 138.5% increase in long-term debt. This has driven the debt-to-EBITDA ratio, a measure of how many years it would take to pay off debt using operating earnings, from a comfortable 107% to a heavier 220%. In a macroeconomic environment where interest rates are stuck between 3.50% and 3.75%, taking on this magnitude of leverage drastically alters the risk profile. At first glance, you might think, big tech always has debt. It's fine. But the complication is the speed of the accumulation. Doubling your leverage ratio in a single year while your efficiency is falling is a classic signal of diminishing returns. Meta is no longer just a high-growth tech stock. It is rapidly becoming a debt-laden utility fighting to maintain its dominance. The lesson for your investing strategy: debt acts as a magnifying glass. In good times, it magnifies returns. In bad times, it magnifies disaster. When debt grows faster than earnings, that is a red flag you cannot ignore. But surely a giant like Meta has the cash flow to pay this off, right? This is where the story gets really interesting and, frankly, a bit terrifying. The financial data presents a contradiction most investors miss. While the headlines focus on EBITDA, which is an accounting measure of profit, the net operating cash flow highlights a catastrophic year-over-year crash to negative $6.5 billion. Think about that. If this figure holds true against the backdrop of massive capital expenditures, Meta is effectively burning through its cash reserves to sustain operations. This contradicts the headline revenue growth entirely. It raises the question, is the liquidity crisis real? If you only look at the income statement, you see a profitable company. If you look at the cash flow statement, you see a cash furnace. The takeaway is crucial. Earnings are an opinion, cash is a fact. This situation leads us directly to the next question regarding valuation. Is the stock a trap, or is it actually on sale? We are witnessing a valuation schizophrenia. On one hand, we have the Graham valuation method. In value investing, this is a formula used to determine the fair price of a stock based on its earnings power. The Graham model suggests the stock is intrinsically worth around $920. With the stock trading around $639, that looks like a 30% discount. A screaming buy, right? But wait, look at the price-to-book ratio. It has declined while the price-to-sales ratio has spiked to nearly 10. This signals that value investors see a bargain based on theoretical future earnings, while the current balance sheet metrics suggest the actual quality of the company's assets is being devalued. The narrative tension lies here. Is the market pricing in a metaverse miracle, or is it ignoring the erosion of the book value? The Graham model assumes the past repeats itself. But as we've just seen with the asset turnover and debt, the new meta is fundamentally different from the old meta. The lesson for your fundamental analysis toolkit is never to rely on a single model. When valuation metrics disagree this strongly, it usually means the market is pricing in a future that looks nothing like the past. Now we have to look outside the balance sheet for a moment at the external threat. While the financials show growth, the risk assessment highlights an existential threat from EU and US regulators. Remember that net margin we discussed? It's already compressing down to 38%. Any significant fines or operational restrictions wouldn't just hurt the company's reputation, they would directly attack that already shrinking profitability per user. If regulators force Meta to change how it targets ads, that asset turnover ratio of 0.55 could drop even lower. So we have exploding debt, shrinking margins, and inefficient assets. You might be thinking this is a short sell. But before you make that call, there is a massive plot twist hidden in the liquidity ratios. We call this the insider's cushion. Despite the structural rot, the company's quick ratio, a measure of its ability to pay short-term bills, actually improved to 2.60. Even more surprising, cash equivalents skyrocketed by over 2,500%. Why would a company engaging in a massive spending spree hoard this much liquidity? It suggests that management is fully aware of the coming storm. They are stockpiling cash to weather the debt obligations and potential regulatory fines that loom on the horizon. This creates a paradox. The business is becoming less efficient, but the balance sheet is becoming more liquid. It proves that the company is not going bankrupt anytime soon. They are unsinkable in the short term, but they are preparing for a war. The lesson here is about reading management's mind. When a company hoards cash while debt is rising, they are buying insurance. They are trading efficiency for survival. So let's circle back to where we started. The core thesis of our stock market analysis is that the market is misinterpreting structural bloat as healthy expansion. Investors are looking at the 23.8% revenue growth and assuming Meta is the same high-flying software company it was 5 years ago. But the data proves otherwise. The divergence between the explosion in fixed assets and the drop in asset turnover proves that Meta has fundamentally altered its business DNA. It has mutated from a capital-light money printer into a capital-heavy industrial utility. In summary, Meta is currently a financial fortress, but one that is under siege from its own inefficiency. Its greatest strength is its massive cash pile. Its Achilles heel is the collapsing return on invested capital. They are spending like a drunken sailor to achieve growth that used to come easy. They have the cash, but they don't have the efficiency. I predict they will acquire a massive legacy media conglomerate or a premier content library. They have built the $197 billion AI infrastructure, the pipes, but they are struggling to fill it profitably. They will buy the content to feed the beast, hoping to finally fix that broken asset turnover ratio. This is the difference between reading the headlines and reading the balance sheet, and that is the heart of a winning investing strategy. But I want to hear your take. Do you think Meta's massive spending on AI infrastructure is a genius move that will pay off in a decade? Or is it a reckless gamble that will crush shareholder value? Let me know in the comments. So hit subscribe so you won't miss what's next, and jump straight to the next video, because that could be the very insight you need to get ahead.